I hope you all are good. We are here for break time math. You can find all the lessons on aplustudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password is provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab, scroll down to grade 10 math, and then click on view all lessons. Here you can find a list of chapters. We're going to start with the chapter surface area and volume. The lessons we can to cover today are of prisms and cylinders, volume of pyramids and cones, surface area and volume of spheres. Please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. Okay, so there are more grade 10 math, the chapter we are on right now, surface area and volume. Let's just start with the lesson that is volumes of prisms and cylinders. What is the volume? So you have to do length time, width time, height. The volume to the formula you need to calculate the volume is length time, width time, height. So the correct option is 7 times 3 times 4. That is 84. So the volume you need to calculate is length time, width time, height. Let's just start with the next questions. What is the volume? That is 3 times 3 times 3. That is 27. Option number 1 is the correct option. Option number 1 is the correct option. What is the volume? Four times, four times, four times four. That is 4 times 4 is 16, and 16 times 4 is 64. The correct option is 64. Option number 2 is the correct option. What is the volume of the cylinder? So the volume of the cylinder is V equals pi r square each. So pi is 3.14, radius is 3 square, and height is 8. Let's just do the calculations. So that is 9 times 8 times 3.14. That is 226.08. Option number 2 is the correct option. That is 226.08. Option number 2 is the correct option. So just keep these formulas in your mind, right? What is the volume? 9 times 9 times 9. So which is the correct option? Nine times 10 is 81. 81 times 9 is 729. So option number 3 is the correct option. What is the volume? So you need to calculate the volume of the triangular prism. So that is 1 by 2 times base times height times length. So 1 by 2 times 7 times 10 times 5. 350 divided by 2. That is 175. Option number one is the correct option. That is 175. What is the bonding? That is 216 cubic feet. Option number one is the correct option. What is the volume of the cylinder? That is V equals pi r squared. That is 90 times 3.14. That is 282.6. Option number two is the correct option. What is the volume of the cylinder? That is V equals pi RH. We need to calculate R over here because you are given with the diameter. So that is 3.14 times. So 3.14 times h square because diameter is 16, so the radius is 8. Let's just do calculations. That is 4 times 10 times 3.14. That is 2009.6. Option number one is the correct option. Okay, let's just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is volume of pyramids and ruins. Let's just start with the lesson. What is the volume of this triangular pyramid? So you need to find the area of the base of triangular face, right? That is half times base times height. So just calculate the area of the base, that is half times base times height. So that is 15. Then you have to calculate the height of the triangular prism. That is 1 by 3 times area of base times height. One by 3 times area of base times height. Okay, the next one is what is the volume of the cone? So how do we calculate the volume of the cone? That is 1 by 3 pi r square. That's the volume of the cone is 1 by 3 pi r square h. Just use the formula and calculate the volume. Okay, the next one is what is the volume of the rectangular pyramid? So the base is a square. So calculate the area of base, that is 100. Then calculate, we have four faces, four triangular faces over there. Calculating the volume, that is 1 by 3 area of base times height. That is 1 by 3 area of base times height. Let's just start with the test questions. What is the volume of the cone? So we need to calculate the volume of the cone. So how do we calculate the volume of the cone? The volume is pi r square h. The volume of the cone is V equals pi r square h. So that is 3.14 times 2 square, because the diameter is 4, the radius would be 2 times 4. So 4 times 4 is 16. So that is the volume. That is V equals 1 by 3 pi r square. So that is 1 by 3, 3.14. R square is Q square and 4. So let me just do the calculations. That would be 4 times 4 is 16 times 3.14, 50.64 divided by 3. That is 16.75. Option number 1 is the correct option. That is 16.75. That is 16.7. What is the volume of the rectangular pyramid? Let's just calculate the area of base first, right? So the area of base is 10 times 10 equals 100 centimeters squared. Then we need to calculate the volume, that is 1 by 3 times area of base times the height. So that is 1 over 3, area of base is 100 and times 6. So that is 200. The correct option is 200. Option number 2 is the correct option. That is 200. What is the volume of the rectangular pyramid? So we need to calculate the volume of the rectangular prism. So how do we calculate? We need to calculate the area of base. That is 7 times 6 is 42. Then we need to do 1 by 3 times the area of base times the height. So area of base is a rectangular shape, right? So area of base is 6 times 7, that is 4. So 1 by 3 times 42 times 9. So the correct option is that is 126. That is 126. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, can okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself today. Let me just move on to the next slide. The next lesson is volume, surface area and volume of sphere. What is the volume of the sphere? So the volume of the sphere is, we have to use the formula that is 4 by 3 by r square. So the volume of the sphere is V equals 4 by 3 by r square. So 4 by 3 by r cube. Just put up the values and calculate the volume. Let's just start with the test questions. What is the volume of the sphere? That is V equals 4 by 3 by r cube. So let's just use the formula, put up the values. V equals 4 by 3 by r cube. So that is 4 by 3. Pi is 3.14. The radius is 8 cube. So let's just do the calculations. So that is 8 times 8 times 8 times 3.14. That is 1607.8 and divided by 3. That is, no, 8 times 8 times 8 times 3.14 times 4. That is 6430.72 and divided by 3. So the correct option is option number 1, that is 2143.57. Option number 1 is the correct. What is the volume of this sphere? That is V equals 4 by 3 pi r cube. So just use the formula and calculate the and do the calculation. 4.3 times 3.14 times R1 cube. So which is the correct option? So that is 4 times 3.14 divided by 3. That is 4.19. Option number 2 is the What is the surface area of this sphere? So just do the calculation and see which is the correct option. The formula is same. That is V equals 4 by 3 pi r cube. Just the values are different. So pi r cube. That is 4 over 3 times 3.14 times 6 cube. So let's just do the calculation. So the correct option is option number two is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself. That is the so we were working on data and math. The chapter we were doing is surface area and volume. The lessons we have covered today are volume of prisms in cylinder, volume of pyramids and cones, and surface area and volume of spheres. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we just did. That is your homework assignment. So if you have any questions, you can please write down the question in the chat box. And here to answer all your questions and questions if you have. Okay, that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye, everyone.